Hello everyone, you are welcome to Anchor Network where you get reliable and authentic news that are so crucial to you. I say big thank you to everyone who has been part of this channel and who has taken time to subscribe. And if you are yet to subscribe, I say please click the red subscribe button and also the bell icon. The bell icon will allow you to get notified anytime we publish any news.
This spring leader, Nnamdi Kanu, welcome to Japan.
Nnamdi Kanu storms Japan. The leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, is in Japan for further diplomatic ties with the country, coincides news reports. This news medium learned the pro-Biafra leader in a post on his Twitter handle said the move is part of plans to rescue Biafra. He alleged that IPOB will continue to appear in places where President Muhammadu Buhari and his handlers cannot tread. Also, he thanked God for granting him a safe journey to the Asian nation, adding that he would address Biafrans later on Saturday. Nnamdi Kanu storms Japan. The leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, is in Japan for further diplomatic ties with the country, coincides news reports. This news medium learned the pro-Biafra leader in a post on his Twitter handle said the move is part of plans to rescue Biafra. He alleged that IPOB will continue to appear in places where President Muhammadu Buhari and his handlers cannot tread. Also, he thanked God for granting him a safe journey to the Asian nation, adding that he would address Biafrans later on Saturday. Thanks to Elohim, he said, I've arrived in Japan to maintain the diplomatic momentum of the most resolute activism to restore Biafra. IPOB will continue to appear openly in places Jubri Buhari and his handlers were too terrified to tread. I will address Biafrans at 2 p.m. Biafran time. And in his Twitter handle, he's saying the same thing. If you go to Nnamdi Kanu Twitter handle, you see on his page, it's tweeted there. Somebody should, people can just go there and confirm that. Buhari was in Japan recently for the 7th Tokyo International Conference on African Development at TICAD 7. IPOB had vowed to attack him then, a threat which did not materialize until he returned to Nigeria. The presidency had mocked the group, saying the Nigerian leader is too busy to be distracted. A presidential spokesman, Femi Adesina, laughed off the threat then, giving details of the Nigerian leaders meeting in the country. When we arrived Yokohama on Monday, according to Femi Adesina, he said, among questions I was asked by Nigerian media here was whether the presidency was worried the threat from a fringe and shadowy group long outlawed in Nigeria to cause commotion and embarrass President Muhammadu Buhari and his team. He said, I waved the question aside, saying we are here in Japan for serious business. Well, the serious business began today, Wednesday, August 28th. The less said about members of that group, the better. In a paroxysm of pain and frustration, they have shot a video at the home of the Nigeria ambassador to Tokyo, threatening to arrest and tie their own father, with Japanese police coplating shameful to ridiculous for every right-thinking Nigeria. To underscore the scant attention we paid to it all, not a word was said about the group when the president received briefing on activities for the day. Early in the morning of Wednesday, it was time for serious business, I say again, and nobody had time for any distraction. There was a photo session that preceded the actual opening ceremony of a TICAD 7. When we went to town with it, the internet almost exploded. Some people had alleged that President Buhari was not in Japan, and those pictures showed them as not worthy of being believed. They were simply laughed to scorn. But enough of them. Back to serious business. So, Guys, Nnamdi Kanu is in Japan. The last area of the news is it was what Femi Adesina was quoting then, which we've talked about before. Now Adesina is good in using all those languages, but the issue is that for a high pop to be rubbing shoulder with them, it's something that they have caused themselves, because if they had done the needful, if they had gone through the normal process, I don't think you know they will be rubbing shoulder to shoulder with the government. It's just how they have brought down themselves. Those were the submission of a Femi Adesina. But back to the real issue now. Nnamdi Kanu is in Japan, just like he said. Thanking God for save say for Johnny Mercy, and saying he's going there to uh also talk about the restoration of a Biafra, and it's just happy. If you can see from the video, everything is just there. So the thing, the rate at which this whole thing is going, it's really commendable. It's like there's no breathing space at all. They are just moving from places to places, and just like some people have really advised them that they should just try to keep some of those their intentions, or some of those their itinerary. And is it really itinerary? Yes, part of itinerary and their plans and all of that, so that they might not be exposing too much. But at least as he got there, at least there are some things that of course that will be known. But of course the main issue, just like they themselves said, according to Nnamdi Kanu, according to Ima Powerful, that even when they went to UN, they saw some of the Nigerian representatives, official that came to, and before them, to that time, that they had made all manner of arrangements just to make sure that that meeting will not be holding with Nnamdi Kanu, so that they will cancel that program. But as God will have is the program was successful. And to their own surprise too, they saw some of the Nigerian officials, their representatives there too, and they just said, for as many that are doubting them, you can go and ask them. The representatives, Nigerian representatives that is sent down there, they just wanted to know what could be happening, and that was why they sent them. And that's why a lot of people are like, oh, you just have to keep some of the things so that they will not just know all your plans, so that they will not try to double cross you or to go ahead of you. But one thing I believe that it might not even happen, because everything you can try to model up things in Nigeria environment, but I think they don't have power. It is only in Nigeria they can manipulate people, they can do a manner of things. We've just heard that they are charging Showore for treason felony, and again for insulting Buhari. So that is where all those kind of a thing can happen. It can just those kind of cock and bull stories, you just form it and everybody will start buying it, and later people are like, oh, it's good for Showore, this and that. But what I'm just trying to say is that I don't think Nigerian government will be able to have power over hip hop the way they've been moving. You can imagine if it were to be in Nigeria, they would have arrested him. They would have said all manner of things. Again, that in fact, they will even tell you that it was even Nnamdi Kanu self that overthrown Buhari in 1984 or 1983, 84. They would have even said it, because all of their own is just like everybody wants to overthrow them. Of course, if that is what you do, you know the tactics. They say it takes a thief to know a thief, because if that's what you have been doing, you've done that before, so you should know. When people are talking, or people, you feel that people are always like, because of what you have done to people, and the same thing people want to do to you. So it takes a thief to know a thief. So that's just the way I can really describe it. I'm not saying anybody is a thief, but I'm just using that as an analogy, because it is what you have been doing. So everybody, if anybody tries to hear their opinion, to say things the way they have, to criticize your government, the next thing they want to overthrow you. So like what I'm saying is that, in essence, that they cannot even have power over these people, most especially Nnamdi, because of course Nnamdi is their target, is their leader. So if it were to be in Nigeria, they would have arrested him. They would have locked him up again in jail. So the way it is now, it's over them. It's beyond them. Just like what Bishop Mike Okonkwo said, that it's like it's too late now. The whole thing has escalated. They've made them to, for people to start getting to know them. The whole world is getting to know them and begin to say, oh, what really happened. Of course, a majority of them know what happened, because for him to be moving from places to places and nobody is questioning him, I think he's going through their immigration. If somebody is a one is on a wanted list, of course, as you get to immigration, they will, it will just flag. They will bounce you back, or they will just arrest you, or maybe they will think that you are a threat to them in that country. That's, because you've been proscribed as a terrorist group. But it doesn't work that way. It shows that it doesn't work that way. Like the question I always ask, people have really answered my question. Those that are always talking about or supporting this government, at least they should be able to think that if really what they think this guy is what he is, or the way they have termed them, why is he now moving from, the so-called big countries? So that is not the issue. That's by the wayside, but is there, and they are just moving forward. If they go, if they look am. If they go, if they look am. So guys, I would like to hear what your takes are. Your takes are on this matter. And some people are already reacting, wow, that is a welcome development. It's good. Of course, it's something to to be happy about. Someone said, as Nigeria, as Nigeria failed to negotiate with non-violence agitators, but prefers to negotiate with armed bandits, which they are sponsoring and still killing citizens. I think you are doing marvelous job. May God bless you. I appreciate you, Nnamdi Kanu. Only fearful people who prefer to fear instead of speaking against injustice and call evil by its name. Well, Nnamdi may not succeed in near future, but I think get he will get what he wants before those who are fearful will ever get theirs, the day they will realize the need for their God-given freedom. So that's just it. And some people are of the opinion that, oh, Namdi is this, is that. I don't want to go into all those routes. So what is pertinent now is that is in Japan. You can see from that a clip. So guys, leave your comments below and let's hear your own take. Thank you very much. Bye.